not 12:59. All right, looks like it's 1 o'clock. We'll go ahead and get started. You guys are ready? Andrea?
Yes, we're ready.
All right. I call to order the special meeting of the City of Campbell City Council on this Friday, July 24th, 2020. This special City Council meeting is conducted via telecommunication and is compliant with provisions of the Brown Act and Executive Order N-2920 issued by the Governor. The City Council meeting is being live streamed on YouTube. Members of the public will not be able to attend the meeting at the City Council chambers physically. However, those wishing to participate are asked to register in advance using the link located on this agenda. After registering, you will receive a confirmation email containing information about how to join the meeting. Speakers may be allocated up to 2 minutes for public comment. Roll call, please. Sorry.
Councilmember Waterman.
Here.
Councilmember Bybee.
Present.
Councilmember Resnikoff.
Here.
Vice Mayor Gibbons.
Here.
Mayor Landry.
Here, thank you. Public comment. Andrea, is this where we're taking comments on the item, or does this count as open forum? It says public comment.
So because it's a special meeting, it's all going to fall under public comment.
Okay. All right, so we're going to go to agenda item number 1, which is to provide the city manager direction to create operational allowances for all business establishments necessary to expand their ability to operate outdoors during the COVID-19 pandemic and involving temporary relaxation of development standards, permit processes, code enforcement activities, and waiving of application fees for permits. I have one comment. I thought we were going to put the word all permitted businesses.
That was for the downtown area that we discussed, the all permitted businesses, I believe.
But doesn't that apply to all these? Because the way it reads, it says all businesses, you could not have a permit, an existing permit.
True.
Paul Camoyan, which do you want to add the word?
Let me just do a brief staff report, and then if we want to fix the resolution, we can go ahead and do that. So,
okay. Are you? I didn't. You're cutting out a little bit. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I think I'm having mic issues. Okay, so can you hear me?
Yes, now I can.
Okay. So at your June 9th meeting, you established or approved 2 resolutions. And one of the resolutions had to do with allowing restaurants and retail establishments to operate outside their confined space outdoors. And that applied to uses that are outside downtown Campbell. At your last meeting this week on July 21st, you were discussing closure of downtown, and what came up was, how do we treat all other businesses outside of downtown? So based on your feedback, we went ahead and changed the resolution that's attached to this very brief staff report that now pertains to all businesses outside of downtown may be able to operate outdoors. Now, Madam Mayor, you mentioned the key word permitted. We can certainly put that in there, but our assumption is all existing businesses are permitted and not operating without an entitlement. But if that is important to the council, we can certainly add that to the resolution. So
okay. Sorry, there's a little lag there. Sorry. Thank you, Brian. So let's, I think we have a public speaker, Andrea. Do we want to have council questions first? Does anybody have questions? No, I don't see any. Liz, did you wave your hand?
I'll wait to discussion. I thought Paul was going to mention something about clarification of private property and stuff, but we can talk about that in discussion.
Okay, so if you don't have any questions, Andrea, don't we have a public speaker?
We do. We have Jeanette Holsworth who would like to speak.
Hi, Jeanette.
Hi, I just wanted to express my thanks and gratitude to you, Madam Mayor, and the council members and the city staff for just all the hard work and dedication that you're all giving for us as small business owners. I think this is definitely a mess of a time, but just having your support is really smoothing a lot of those edges. And so I just wanted to express that to each of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And Jeanette, where's your business located again?
We're on Campbell Avenue, and the corner of the address is 471 East Campbell Avenue, and we're on the corner there of Foot Avenue, next to the dry cleaners and Rita's.
Okay, well, thanks for participating today and again on Tuesday. All right, I'll
Yes.
bring it back to council now for discussion. Let's go in order. Rich, do you have anything? No, Ann? Paul?
Yeah, thank you. So, Paul Kermoyan, I just want to confirm, is correcting the approvals outside of downtown that we didn't do earlier. But are we missing one other thing, which would be, we've approved restaurants and retail downtown, but didn't specify businesses outside of restaurant and retail. And that's kind of what we're doing here outside of downtown, right? So is that something we can, I think I see Bill nodding. Is that something, I think we're not enforcing, so we're okay for those businesses, but to be consistent, can we, at a future date, say in August, add in to our downtown ordinance, restaurants, retail, and other businesses, or at least not exclude other businesses?
Okay, so on your last Tuesday's meeting on the 21st,
Can you
You
sit
did-
closer, Paul? I can't hear you. Sorry.
I'm like right here, buddy. Okay,
Okay.
so at your meeting on Tuesday, you did include all businesses as it relates to operating on Campbell Avenue as part of the street closure. You did do that.
Okay,
What you didn't do is address all businesses that may be using private parking lots, and that's what
Okay.
Vice Mayor Gibbons was going to bring up.
okay,
Yeah, and that's something I've already resolved the Palazzi Studio. They want to operate in their back parking lot. I basically informed them, that's the spirit of the council direction, go ahead and do it. But if we want to memorialize that, yes, thank you.
Yay!
Well, that's on you. You guys are doing this, so it's awesome. So if you want to memorialize that, we can certainly create the formal document and bring that back, but we understand the spirit of what you're trying to accomplish and we'll
Okay.
carry that.
my point just was that we not piecemeal it and keep coming back, but if
Yeah.
we need to do that, my goal was to not discriminate against any business because it's not retail or it's not service, make them all equal, and then not discriminate between downtown and outside downtown. So I'm just suggesting if we need to do that, the August meeting might be the time to just make all the changes. I know in the meantime, there's no enforcement, so we're good, but I just wanted to bring that up. That was my goal, to be inclusive to all businesses, regardless of type of business or where they're located. Thank you.
We can
Okay,
certainly bring that
thank you.
back, put on consent.
Okay, Liz?
Thank you. So Paul and Paul, that was right where I was heading. I don't know if we can do it today or not and make one simple resolution. So my comments in general, I would like to see us do one resolution and be done with it. But my clarifications are, I thought we might want to do something clarifying that this applies to all state and county approved businesses because things go on and off their list. So my thought was if we use language like state and county approved businesses would be helpful. And also that all businesses must comply with their professional regulations. So for example, the barbers and hair salons were not allowed by their own regulations to open up outside. So we don't want to do anything that inadvertently supersedes professional regulations. So I would say clarify that this applies to all state and county approved businesses. And all businesses must comply with professional regulations. And then that takes the city out of that whole kit and caboodle. And then I had a couple of minor comments on the resolution itself. I think it's has to do with hours of operation, and it says 11 p.m. or later if allowed. I think it's on page 7 of the resolution or the staff report. Let's see. Yeah, bottom of page, page 7, 3 of 5. It says the hours of operation shall not exceed 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. unless otherwise permitted under the existing land use entitlement. The existing land use entitlements, we're not anticipating activities outside of the volume that we're talking about outside. And we have noise ordinances controlling noise outside. So I think we should be more specific and say 6 a.m. I'm a little hesitant at 11 because of our noise ordinances, but 11 p.m. period, not allow any of the other businesses that could be open to 12 or 1 or 2. You don't want to have neighbors being disrupted till 2 in the morning because people are eating and drinking outside. So I'd like to suggest that change for hours of operation. And then number 5, tents and covering. Tents and covering are permitted only within the private parcels, common parcels and private parking lots, so long as the businesses occupy it. So this is different than downtown. So I just want to highlight that. But then it says that the use the same model and color to achieve design consistency. I think one of the things we're going to find is outside the downtown, there's a lot of, I won't strip malls for a simple image, but multiple businesses in a particular parcel. And they often like to have distinction between each other. So I think we don't need to say color consistency per business, but I don't think we want to limit them to color consistency for the whole area, if you follow me on that. And then number 9 on maintenance, the appropriate waste collection container shall be provided in all areas and regularly cleaned. My only concern here, and there's a comment here about sewer and infestation and public nuisance. So I just wanted to see if anybody thought the language there might be a little bit stronger about, we don't want to have garbage cans left out overnight kind of thing. They should be put in their regular garbage bins. And we don't want to have food and hair and different things that could be from the businesses going into the sewer system. So I just want to make sure council has some, if they have any thoughts on that. And then the final comment is on storage. I'm a little nervous. I'm thinking outside the downtown. I'm thinking along Hamilton Ave and Bascom Ave and Campbell Ave for that matter, as well as others. Allowing people to leave all their furniture outside seems a little bit risky. So I'd like to know what other people think about that.
Okay, you're good now? That's it? Okay, so Paul, Paul Camoyan, why don't you start with the noise issue about, right now it says 11 p.m. or later, and Liz's point was because everybody's outside, there's going to be more noise. So this is around the hours of operation.
Yeah, the vice mayor raises a very, very good point. You know, we were trying to be respectful of the uses, general hours of operation and their ability to rebound. So curtailing their hours, we felt, you know, certainly is in your purview to to opine. We just wanted to bring that forward, that we were respecting the hours. It's true that most of these entitlements, though, are anticipating the operation to be indoors, which then has the ability to, to dampen any sound. So that's really up to you. If you want to just shut it off at 11, we can certainly do that.
Maybe there's some wording in there that says comply with noise ordinance. Would that help, Liz?
It's going to be an
Actually, I
enforcement
think it's
issue.
too hard to enforce. I think we just make it.
Okay,
So we could easily just, the hours of operation shall not exceed 6 to 11 p.m. period. We could certainly say that.
are they allowed to have a band outside?
No live entertainment.
Okay.
No.
All right, the next one was regarding the color consistency of tents and coverings.
Well, the idea there,
I
yeah,
know.
we did carry forward our ideas relative to shopping centers, but definitely understand the issue of distinction. So we were just trying to, respect the design and not have it look like, circus tents everywhere. But, maybe having bright colors is what they're going for. So
Yeah,
anyway, that's,
best example is Moe's and Willard Hicks and what is it? The other one there, the Greek restaurant. They all, Opus, yeah, they all have different graphics and colors, and that works very well.
yeah, the Jamba Juice likes to brand their color. They'll have yellow. I mean, I get it.
Yeah.
So we can easily change that to not be so restrictive.
Yeah, and they may have investments already. That was my other concern, is people may already have investments.
That was
Okay.
my concern, is that if you already have some tents that you use elsewhere, we don't want you to have to go buy color coordinated tents.
Yeah.
Okay, and
Okay.
then the third one was trash bins. About
I didn't see-
maintenance, not
Is that
leaving
under
your trash
maintenance?
out.
So what would appropriate waste collection containers shall be provided in all areas, shall be regularly cleaned. So what is the issue there? I didn't understand.
They could be left overnight, and then
I see.
animals could get in on them, because
So they,
trash cans don't have the protections of the regular garbage areas.
I would think,
so
sorry, I would think also the issue is, especially if you're a hairdresser out cutting and you wash down your area, that it doesn't go into the storm drain. You also mentioned that,
Mhm.
because all the parking lots will drain to the storm drain system.
Yeah,
so the idea is to bring those in.
Or, well, if you're gonna hose down your area, put core rolls or something around the storm drain. I would think it would apply to restaurants and like places like the hair groups, hair salons.
there's just
then
a
the
real, there's just a real potential for things to get messy really quickly. And this is all over the city, not just downtown. I keep thinking of all the little nooks and crannies all over the city.
Okay,
The last one was storage.
storage for furniture. I would say if you want to take the risk and leave your stuff out overnight, it's your risk. I mean, that's a lot of work to haul stuff back in and out.
Well,
Chain it together.
yeah, some restaurants are pulling them back against the building and chaining them. I'm just worried about vandalism, and somebody could be, what's the phrase, convenient nuisance or something. They could pick up a chair and,
Attractive nuisance.
thank you, attractive nuisance, and throw it in a window. I'm just, again, I'm thinking Bascom and Hamilton particularly, where you've got high-speed opportunistic traffic.
Well, I would say it's at your own risk. If you feel like you want, if you don't want to have vandalism, move it inside or chain it up or something. Any thoughts, Paul? Bill?
No, it's whatever you want.
Okay, so we're going to try to get a motion going. How do you, do we have some specific language to add in the motion?
So everything I said would fit into the language the motion, I think.
But Bill, don't we have to use the wording when we make the recommended action?
That certainly would make it, yes, you do need to specify the language that you want to have in your resolution. Or at least be specific enough that staff is clear beyond any doubt as to what is supposed to be in the wording of the resolution.
Okay, let's let Paul Camoy take a stab at it first. And it's, so whatever you say, Paul, we're gonna say
Okay.
recommend action, ditto above or something, right? And then Liz can make sure it works. So the first one is the hours of operation. You had some good language there.
So with number 3 within the resolution, we would end the sentence after 11 p.m. So we would read, the hours of operation shall not exceed 6 a.m. to 11 p.m., period.
Is that good, Liz?
Yes.
Okay, that's that one. Tents and covering. I wouldn't, do we even need to use color consistency?
By business, not
Uh,
by property.
Okay. So tents and coverings are permitted only within private parcels, private common areas, or private parking lots. Let's just say period.
Okay, great, that's
And-
easy.
And then such fabric should be fire retardant, et cetera, et cetera.
Okay. And then the
Maintenance.
maintenance and trash.
So the business expansion area shall be maintained free of debris and clutter and shall not create public nuisance issues. Appropriate waste collection containers shall be provided and all areas shall be regularly cleaned pursuant to current county public health officer orders. Said trash containers shall be brought in out of the operational area at close of business. Period.
And what
There's
about the
response-
storm drains?
I don't know what you would want me to do. You want them to monitor storm drains?
Or,
So
or I was thinking something like no washing or no drainage into storm drains. Something about, so when you hose down your area, it doesn't go into the storm drain. Bill, is there?
I mean, we already have a code provision to that effect, and I don't know that I don't see anything in this resolution that waives those provisions.
Okay, so maybe just per code, Paul, we can add that.
How about adding that into the guidance that staff's going to put together? If staff can reference that code so that it's clear that, you know, you can't do the hair chemicals and the hair and the garbage washing into the storm. And it may be each business will have to protect its own storm drain system with those
The
various.
fabric and the core rolls, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that
This
was,
could be a mess, and this could be a mess.
so we don't
Maybe
have
the
to add
public
that.
works director could add comment.
So we
Sorry.
don't have to make any changes.
Right, no changes.
The only change we need to make is that maybe making it that trash containers, business trash, business external trash containers shall be left empty every night. Make it simple.
External first, external trash and containers.
Okay,
Okay.
so external business trash containers need to be brought in at close of business and emptied every night.
No, just let's say need to be emptied every night. They can leave them out. They just need to have them empty.
Okay,
All right,
and then I don't think we need to change anything about the furniture. It's at their risk.
PD may have a comment later on.
Are they on the call here? I can see who's on the call. Gary, how you want to chime in? Hi.
Hi, how are you? I would tend to agree that it's on the business owners for whether or not they want to leave their property out. to the vice mayor's comments, I think it, by leaving it out, it does create a better, a higher likelihood that something criminal nature could happen, but I don't have any major concerns.
Okay.
Okay. So just in summary,
This.
okay, in summary, we're making 2 changes to the ordinance. Paul, you marked it up. So now we can make a motion.
Yeah, actually, I'm sorry,
Three.
we need to correct the title. We need to correct the title in the, it
You're
needs-
making 3 changes. You're making changes to number 3, hours of operation, to number 5, tents and coverings, and to number 9, performance measures.
But I believe we also all spoke to Councilmember Resnikoff, and Mayor Landry and I all spoke. The resolution of the council of the city of Campbell setting forth enforcement priorities affecting all state and county approved businesses.
That makes it kind of weird is because I can be an approved business by the state, but I may not be approved right now during the COVID.
That's what I'm saying. So
So,
maybe,
but the COVID word, so Bill, can you help us with this one?
I think we're creating more confusion than we're solving if we add in state and county approved businesses. I mean, we have no authority, first of all, to exempt someone from state and county regulations. So those will be enforced by whoever enforces those regulations in any event. But I am concerned there could, if we just put state and county regulations, what about the city's regulations? Shouldn't they be in the title as well? I mean,
so if I may.
I mean, essentially, and you know, it's the title doesn't control anything that's actually in the body of the resolution. There's a general principle in statutory interpretation that you really don't look to the title to determine the intent.
So time out.
Okay.
I was trying to do what Councilmember Resnikoff was doing. I was trying to make sure, and maybe we don't have to, but I was trying to make sure that we don't have to keep coming back and coming back and coming back. That was what I was trying to do. And the reason it came to mind was previously, we have now had to revise it, not only for restaurants and retails, but we've had to revise it for hair salons and barbershops and gyms. So I was just trying to find a way that we didn't have to come back and revisit it. If you think it's okay the way it is, I'm fine, but that was the purpose.
Yeah. And
Would it help to add something that says businesses allowed by county ordinance, or no?
That is-
Bill, you're shaking his head no.
I
Okay.
think that
I mean-
just adds more confusion. And
Okay.
to Councilmember Resnikoff's point, I think his point is he wanted it to be as broad and inclusive as possible. And what everyone's trying to do now is to try and narrow it somewhat.
No, that's not correct. I'm not trying to narrow it at all. Not
But
what I'm
that
trying
I
to do.
think would be the net effect.
Okay. All right.
Brian,
I'm fine if we don't. I'm fine if we don't. I just wanted to ask the question.
okay, Brian's raising his hand.
If I could just clarify, I think the intent is to try to address both the issues downtown, non-retail and restaurants, and outside of downtown. This resolution just deals with those outside the C3. But what I heard the community development director say to Councilmember Resnikoff's concern is that we've heard the council direction last time we talked about opening Campbell Avenue up to all businesses. So in the spirit of that, staff will be recognizing that. We'll memorialize that at a future date with a resolution for those downtowns on August 18th when we come back to you. This resolution won't affect those C3 businesses, but make sure it's clear that we are allowing them to continue to operate outdoors on their own property.
Okay,
Okay.
are we ready to make a motion? Liz, you want to make the motion?
I'll make a motion that the council provide, let's see, recommended action, that the city council adopt a resolution granting the city manager authority to establish operational allowances for all businesses outside downtown Campbell in order to allow expansion of their ability to operate outdoors during COVID-19 pandemic and involving temporary relaxation of development standards, permit processes, code enforcement activities, and waiving of application fees for permits with the three text revisions stated by the Community Development Director.
Okay, good. Do we have a second? Rick?
What? Yeah, second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Councilmember Waterman,
Aye.
Councilmember Bybee,
Aye.
Councilmember Resnikoff,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Gibbons,
Aye.
Mayor Landry.
Aye. Yay, more stuff done. Great. Okay, we're gonna go to 2, extension of declaration of a local emergency due to COVID-19. Is there any questions for staff?
If appropriate, I was going to do just a brief introduction, but I will hold that unless there's questions of staff, if that's appropriate.
I don't see any questions. Let's ask Andrea, do we have anybody who wants to speak on this item?
We do not.
Okay, back to council for discussion. Brian, do you want to say anything or do we want to go right to the action?
Yeah, I was going to provide a brief update on the emergency just for the benefit of the public and the council members that are on this call. And it's an opportunity, and we're talking about extending our declaration of emergency. I just wanted to give you a brief highlight of what we're doing as an organization, but I can hold that at the pleasure of the council if you want me to.
Anybody want to have Brian make a presentation?
I think it'd be useful. I mean, we really need to understand how the city's been functioning and what changes and modifications we need and what we might see going forward. I think it'd be very helpful for the council and the public.
Hey, Brian, go for it.
Yeah, I'll keep it really brief. Since the beginning of this pandemic, the county's health orders required certain social distancing protocol to be observed by businesses and offices that are open in our county. And clearly the city has complied with those regulations. And as was required, those protocols were posted on the entrance points to all of our buildings and provided to staff so they understood their responsibilities entering the building. And as the council's aware and the public's likely aware, our facilities have really been closed to the public. We've been operating on an as needed by appointment only for essential services. And in July, our county revised the health order that apparently at the time seemed to authorize businesses in non-essential businesses to open back up. It was supposed to be effective July 13th. When the county came out with that order, the city had prepared guidance to instruct its employees how to operate once we were going to be open to the public. And we were prepared to communicate that to the staff. And in that time period, as you are aware, the state placed Santa Clara County on the state's watch list, which required that non-essential businesses be closed as of effective July 15th. So there's this 2-day window where things change very quickly from everything looks like it's opening up with new protocols under the county to businesses not being open to the public if it was non-essential. And so that guidance to staff has been revised and is going to be distributed this afternoon to staff, and it will clearly delineate obviously the responsibilities of staff and the protocol for self-screening, for wearing masks, for temperature checks. And it specifically addresses the responsibilities of our staff and the organization if and when we open up to the public. It has been communicated to our County City Managers Association this week by the county that we should not be expecting any of those health orders to change in the next 3 weeks, either on a state level or a county level. So we don't anticipate opening to the public for at least 3 weeks. This afternoon, we'll be communicating to our employees There's new guidance in preparation of that, so they have some advance notice of how that will work. We are requiring self-monitoring, both for temperature and for symptoms. And in the meantime, we've actually purchased some monitoring kiosks for temperature and face masks. We just received our first piece of that equipment today, and that equipment is being tested in the police department over the next few days. If it works well, we will be purchasing additional kiosks for all of our entry points of all of our facilities, both at City Hall, at the service yard, and at the community center, so that the self-monitoring paper tracking that is in place right now will be replaced with an automated system. We are still testing that, so we're probably 2 weeks away, but we would anticipate within that 3-week window before the county allows any additional relaxation. If they do, we'll be prepared with the appropriate equipment to protect our employees. We're also communicating to them our telework policies and our federal mandated Family Medical Leave Act and federal sick leave requirements and allowances as well. So that's what we're doing at City Hall. I would be glad, and I will share with the council a copy of that guidance when it goes out this afternoon with the public. Before you today is an extension of a declaration of emergency. We started this back in March, where I, as Director of Emergency Services, proclaimed an emergency, brought that to the council, and the council ratified that direction in March. And with that ratification, the state codes require that every 60 days we revisit the need to continue the declaration of emergency. There has been some discussion among various cities that the governor's order may make that revisitation a moot point, in that the state declaration of emergency provides the governor some broad powers. And apparently in his declaration of emergency, he has suggested that the 60-day time window to revisit emergencies is waived under the state code, and purports that he has the authority to do that. Some cities are relying upon that and not renewing their declarations of emergencies. Other cities, out of an abundance of caution, are moving forward and reviewing those declarations every 60 days. It's our recommendation that you consider extending it. There could be some questions, and Bill could jump in here probably with additional questions, whether or not the governor's suggestion of waiving state mandates would also protect us from FEMA, in that FEMA is not a state agency and requires the declaration of emergency to be in place when we seek reimbursement. So we're trying to minimize those conflicts when we're seeking reimbursement, I think, from federal agencies. And so that is part of the reason we're recommending you go forward with this resolution. In my conversations in the last few days with other cities in Santa Clara County, it's a mixed bag of what cities are moving forward with continuing their declaration and what cities are going to rely upon the governor's orders. So I just wanted to call that to your attention so you're familiar with that if you hear that from other cities. With that, I'm certainly available for questions.
So from a state level, it may be redundant, but from a FEMA level, it sounds like we need to do it. And we're here now to do it, right?
I think that would be the conservative approach, so that later when we're seeking reimbursements from FEMA, we're not making that argument, and we protect ourselves by taking this action today.
Okay, do we have any questions for Brian? Liz, you have your mic on.
I have discussion.
Okay, I see no questions. We have no public speaker. So question or discussion?
I appreciate Brian's update. I have now been able to have copies and read all of the policies for staff. If they're going out and being revised today, may I recommend that you put the date on the bottom of each page, so that as it's reissued, people can know that they're using and referencing the right issuance of it. That would be a big help. And then I would hope that, look, I was very pleased also to hear that there's going to be procedures for every building. I mean, for example, at the courtyard, it mentions only having sanitation stuff at the main clerk's desk. It didn't mention having it in the working bays. So I just want to make sure that all of that's being taken care of. Same thing is true for the community center. It didn't talk about the protocols for the pool area and things like that. So I'm glad those are all getting updated, and that'll be good. The one nice thing, it's always nice to do nice things, is during this period of success, the senior meal program that we authorized the expansion of has been sold out every day at 95 meals. So that is really, really great news. And I think the council did a superb job working with staff to come up with increasing that number. So well done, everybody. And then in terms of the date, if we did our first ordinance or first emergency declaration on March 6th, I think, and then it said it was renewed in 30 days, which would be early July. If we want to keep on the 60-day cycle, we may want to make it like September 9th or something. If we're going to be fussy about that, we should double check the date. This one says like 60 days or a little more than 60 days from today. So we may want to change that date back to something like September 9th, because we have a council meeting on the 8th. I don't know, but it seemed like that would be reasonable. And then the final thing is we still don't have outreach to our businesses. And I think that's something that is critically missing in our emergency operations plan actions. And we don't know what's happening with our businesses, and we don't know how to help them, and we don't know what they're doing well and not so well. So I would stress that staff needs to continue to prioritize reaching out to all our businesses.
Okay, does Rich, do you have any comments, or Ann?
Well, I would support the conservative approach and the enacting out of abundance of caution and renewing this every 60 days, not only for FEMA reimbursement purposes, but also for transparency to the council and the public. And I think it needs to be put on an upcoming agenda list so that we don't miss the deadline and we don't have to call a special meeting to take action on it.
Thank you, Paul.
No comment.
Can I just comment on the timing issue, Mayor Landry?
Yes.
Yeah, to both Vice Mayor Gibbons' comments and Councilmember Bybee's comments, we've already put a placeholder on your September meeting for consideration of renewal. So we,
Great.
in 60 days comes and goes.
But it's the 24th. It's late. It's 24th of September. I think you need to move it up.
Well, the declaration can run through the 24th, but what we've done is put a placeholder on the agenda for September 1st to consider whether or not we renew it.
Okay. Thank you. Liz, did you have more comments? No. I'll let you know, I just talked to Natasha this morning about the senior program. And she said some of the times they can make smaller portions and they were able to get 98 meals instead of 95. So I thought that was great.
Yeah, my friends went 2 days ago and they were sold out.
Yep.
And
So I'm ready for O'Brien.
I'm sorry, one just quick clarification. I misquoted the date when I said September 1st. We have it on the agenda for September 15th with the order, the declaration to expire September 24th.
Okay. So it's on the right day.
Yeah, sorry, I misspoke on the dates. It should be September 15th renewal.
Okay, do we want to make a motion, somebody? And Liz, somebody? No motion? Ann,
I'll take a stab at it. So I'd like to make a motion that we adopt a resolution extending the City Council May 5th, 2020 proclamation declaring the existence of a local emergency resulting from community spread of the coronavirus, also known as COVID-19, in the city of Campbell.
thank you. Second,
I'll second.
Rich, second that. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Waterman,
Aye.
Councilmember Vibey,
Aye.
Councilmember Resnikoff,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Gibbons.
Aye. Mayor Landry.
Aye. All right, that's our agenda for today. I want to thank everybody for allowing us to have this quick emergency meeting. And TGIF, everybody enjoy your weekend. Thank you. Leaving the meeting.
Thank you.
Wow.